Members of the City Council, hello. My name is Laura Bishop, and I want to thank you for inviting us to speak to you today. I'm the Executive Director of the 418 Project on Front Street, and I'm here to talk about the arts, our community, and the future of Santa Cruz. And to request that not just the 418 Project, but the many arts and cultural organizations that enliven downtown be granted a seat at the table in planning for our future. Now, I hope it's okay if I ask you a question. So if it feels good, I invite you to take a breath and consider softening your gaze and ask yourself, why do you live in Santa Cruz? And maybe notice if that lands somewhere inside you. And then I have another question for you. And that question is, why do you really live in Santa Cruz? And I don't know about you, but there's one more question that interests me. And that question is, why do you really, really live in Santa Cruz? Now, on to our topic. So, as I speak to you today, the ability of the 418 Project, as well as the nearby Yoga Center, and potentially others, to remain in or near our current location is uncertain because of major development projects that are or will be before you. Projects which might redefine the very essence of Santa Cruz for decades to come, and potentially displace our and other community institutions. For context, I would invite you to view the development projects and the organizations they may impact through two diverse but compatible lenses. The first is arts as an engine for creative growth, or what the 2008 Arts Master Plan calls the creative economy. In its vision statement, the Arts Master Plan puts the Santa Cruz, whose economic health and vibrancy are built on our finest resources. Our stunning natural environment, educated populace, innovative thinkers, esteemed academic institutions, small town character, and highly respected arts community. So, in keeping with the vision, the Arts Master Plan called on the city to, 1, take a leadership role in fostering the arts as a community resource, and 2, leverage the arts as a key component in its overall economic development strategies. In a moment, I'll share with you how the 418 Project can help achieve those goals. The other lens, as you know, Mayor Watkins, and the council have already prioritized, is instituting the internationally recognized health and all policies in a way that works for all of Santa Cruz. Utilizing the 3 pillars of equity, public health, and sustainability. These 3 pillars embody what we at the 418 Project and the Yoga Center and our downtown arts neighbors do every day. The challenge is there are a lot of moving parts. And as you guys know, the goal is identifying areas of growth while applying health, sustainability, and equity lenses to your decision making. At the 418 Project, we have 25 years experience creating and supporting an astonishingly rich and deep community environment. And I'm going to share a couple of ways we do this in the service of the values of equity and public health and sustainability. But first, a little more about us. Last summer, we surveyed our users and we found the following. The 418 Project's user base is comprised of people from all over Santa Cruz, but mostly from the 950 and 95060 and 95062 zip codes. We are students, mid-career professionals, and elders ranging in age about evenly from 18 to 70 plus, including kids. In fact, one of the unusual dynamics that happens in our space is how often intergenerational transactions happen. About a third of our programming is specifically designed to cultivate this, and a lot more times, it just happens. For example, last month, we made arrangements to share our space with 4 high school kids, 3 of which were Latinx and 1 white, doing their first ever rap concert. A Black mom teaching a series of classes on an amazing movement technique called contact improv, especially designed to bring families together. And a longtime SoCal resident, a Norwegian-born Rolfer, who's planning 2 evenings of dance performance and political commentary in September. Here are a couple of programs that have been in our space continuously for over 20 years. One, Dance Church, is our by-donation gathering that people of all ages, backgrounds, and faiths enjoy every Sunday morning. Afro-Brazilian and samba with live drumming. Grateful Dead dances. Theatrical improv and contact improv. And aerial dance, the first aerial arts in Santa Cruz, was done in our space. So sort of like a healthy garden, we mix the annuals, one-time pop-up events that create the color with perennials, which are sort of like their own ecosystems, if you will, and they keep our soil vigorous and they invite a wide variety of birds and butterflies. So now, what about the creative economy? So consider this. A large percentage of our users come at least once a week, often twice a week. Over 3/4 say they would like to come as often or more in the future. And here's my favorite number. Keep in mind, the 418 Project has one main studio. Still, over 1,000 people a week come through our doors weekly. We estimate that over the course of a year, about 20,000 discrete individuals cross our thresholds. Think about it. It means on any day, a couple of hundred people who live in Santa Cruz might take part in our classes, workshops, concerts, and performances, and eat at our cafe. But aside from the meaning that they're deriving from our programming, these people are going shopping, dropping their kids off, having coffee, going to meetings, and basically taking advantage of downtown's many offerings. So, how do we do this? I'd like to talk specifically about how the 418 Project addresses the values of sustainability, equity, and public health. Sustainability. The 418 Project is comprised of a community of communities. They were originally drawn to us because of need. A need of space, a need of expression, a need of connection, a need of safety, a need of accessibility. As a nonprofit arts center, we have more creativity than cash. So we've had to be creative to meet our community's needs. We don't have much of what you might consider conventional power. So, in order to keep our doors open, we used what we had. And we discovered that listening, fairness, and sharing the mic, so to speak, are effective tools for creating the vibrancy that sustained us for over a quarter century. Equity. As we've grown in organizational capacity, we've become really aware of the widening income divide. So we've been ramping up our by donation and sliding scale offerings. About half our programming is presently either by donation or sliding scale, and we intend to take this as close to 100% as we can in the coming 3 years. Public health. We believe that only part of public health is physical. We believe that health is also mental, emotional, and spiritual. So we create programming where as many people as want it can come get their physical health needs met, and at the same time derive emotional, spiritual, and mental benefits with practices as simple as putting down your phone, taking off your shoes, and becoming present to yourself and those around you. Now, about our concerns of displacement. As things now stand, the 418 Project's home would be demolished to make room for a mix of market rate and affordable units, and about 13,000 square feet of commercial space between 418 and 508 Front Street, the Riverfront Project. This project is actually phase 2 of the Pacific Front Mixed-Use Project, which we call the Taco Bell Project, that has already been approved by the city and has the same developer. Early on, let's say over a year ago, the developer said we make space for the 418 Project in phase 2, basically allowing us to stay where we are. No rent was confirmed, the amount of space was speculative at best, and no firm commitments were made. However, as of today, the developer has said he'd commit to a special study session with the 418 Project. This is an important first step for us, a seat at the table. A seat at the table also means working directly with city staff as we explore various planning options. We ask this today because it's important that the city not lose sight of the creative, wellness, and economic importance of the downtown's thriving arts and cultural institutions like the 418 Project. We're actually part of the solution because we deal on a daily basis with the complexities of equity, public health, and sustainability. We bring the experience of how things actually work and how they can be made to work for all Santa Cruz. So in closing, I'd like to read a statement from the master plan, the Arts Master Plan. Home to a richly diverse and talented arts community, our city's artistic reputation is vital to its residents, who view our town as more than a collection of roads and buildings, also as a concentration of cultures and ideas. Santa Cruz is the undisputed cultural heart of the region. City arts, cultural groups, patrons, and volunteers have dedicated many years and countless resources to developing Santa Cruz as a hub of high-quality music, dance, theater, film, and literary arts. Now, Santa Cruz can put its creative assets to work in helping to build a new, sustainable economy. I'd like to add that I believe the 418 Project is the heart of Santa Cruz. I'm a little biased. And I believe that the Arts Master Plan is even more valid now than it was approved when it was approved by your predecessors in 2008, and especially since it's now linked to the arts objective in the draft 2030 general plan. Thank you so much for your time and attention.